A very good afternoon to you this 25th day of December 2018. I would like to wish all our Christian brothers a very blessed day. How are you enjoying this festive season and specifically this holiday? Tweet us at NTV Kenya. My name is Zainab Ismail and welcome to NTV At One. Now, Pope Francis led the world's Catholics into Christmas, urging people in the developed world to seek a simpler, less materialistic life and condemning the yawning gap between the rich and the poor. Meanwhile, visitors from all over the world made a Christmas Eve pilgrimage to Bethlehem, the town revered as the birthplace of Jesus.
A few hours before the beginning of Christmas,
we understand this is a very important day for our Christian brothers. We'd like to know, where are you enjoying this particular day from and how are you marking it? Our Twitter handle is at NTV Kenya, subsequently at Zainab Ismail. I'll be able to sample some of those views, and of course, who are you saying hello to this Christmas day? Now, residents of Limuru in Kiambu County are accusing police of laxity, which they say has contributed to the increasing insecurity in the area. Several people have been killed in unclear circumstances this Christmas Eve. The police on their side say the residents also have a role to play by giving them tip-offs whenever they get wind of a planned robbery or attack. The latest incident happened last night, where a 32-year-old security farm worker was murdered in cold blood on her way home. According to the area OCPD Eunice Gidhure, it is feared the deceased may have been raped before the murder. Emma Yago, the murder victim's sister, says they reported last night soon after work at night. The deceased boarded a border together with another passenger but never got home. Her body was found this morning by the police.
Mtu mmoja wa pikipiki akakuja akiwa na akina dada wawili. Akapanda hiyo pikipiki pamoja, akaniambia bye, nikasema bye, tukutane kesho. Tukamuuliza ama twende tulale kwangu. Sema haja niende nione watoto sababu ni sikukuu. Nikamwambia basi tukutane kesho basi. Tukaachana hivyo vizuri, nami nikabaki nyuma.
Wananchi tujichunge sana, wakati wa usiku tujichunge sana sababu insecurity imekuwa juu sana. Na ninaweza penda pia kuchallenge polisi wetu wenye wako hapa, sababu polisi wamelala kazini yao. Ningetaka kusema sisi Walimuru tuko na police post zenye zinafaa na zinatosha kuchunga wananchi wa hapa Limuru, na tunaghadhabika sana tukiona wananchi wakiuawa.
So the body was found at process area, and she had some marks on the neck, possibly an indication maybe there was a struggle. It seems her clothes had been partly removed, so it's suspected that she could have been raped before she was killed.
Now, residents of Kolongolo now want the Kolongolo police station relocated from the market following the fatal shooting that left 5 dead on the 15th of this month. Residents who witnessed the alleged police brutality have called on Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i to relocate the police post from the market center and arrest the policeman who went on a shooting spree. Speaking during a fundraising to assist the 5 families who lost their loved ones, residents claim that the police used excessive force in handling the angry mob that was protesting the arrest of a suspect who had been accused of domestic violence. Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa assured the residents that the matter was under investigations by APOA and that the policemen involved will face the full force of the law. Each of the 5 families affected was given 50,000 shillings to assist them organize for the burial of their deceased kin.
Speaker aliumia siku hiyo, watu wengi waliumia, hata Ferdinand karibu apigwe risasi hapa. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kwamba kama hiyo ofisa akishikwa, tafadhali wasiri ashikwe mara moja ili tuongenge kama kesi inaendelea.
No one is above the law. Wewe ukue mwananchi ama ukue afisa wa polisi ama hata ukue waziri ama mbunge, sisi wote tuko chini ya sheria. Na hawezi nyanyasa Mkenya mwingine ama umuumize ama uvunje sheria na ufikirie you can get away with it. Vile nilieleza kule Eldoret wakati nilienda kumuona speaker wetu Werunga, tulisema na niliongea na IG wa polisi Boynet asubuhi hiyo ya kwamba lazima maafisa wote waliohusika kwa mambo ya Kolongolo, the shooting na kuua na kujeruhi wananchi hapo, lazima kila ofisa aliyehusika achunguzwe, uchunguzi ufanywe na haki itendeke. Whoever it is achukuliwe hatua kulingana na sheria za Kenya.
Now, traffic police have beefed up their presence to enhance surveillance on roads across the country this festive season. Over 1,300 arrests were made last night and early today morning. Those commuters flouting traffic rules on the Nairobi-Mombasa highway, one of the roads that police say registers high number of accidents during the festive seasons. Those arrested were public service vehicle operators and passengers breaking traffic rules. According to the police, there will be a 24-hour police presence on all roads this festive season, with all traffic police officers being recalled from leave.
For the last 48 hours, the busy Mombasa-Nairobi highway has been characterized by numerous roadblocks and police checks. Thousands of commuters using that road having to make several stopovers before arriving at their destinations. According to Makueni County Commissioner Mohamed Maalim, who is leading the operation on the lower section of the road around Savo, 70 accidents occurred this year between Malili and Kanga areas in Mtitwandei, with 27 people losing their lives in that one section of the road.
Hatusemi, tunajua Wakenya wanalalamika, wakiona roadblocks 2-3, wanasema we have been inconvenienced. But we are not mounting roadblocks. Ile tunafanya ni create our presence. Surveillance. Najua ukora wa Kenya akiona traffic mahali ama police ni kupiga mataa, anasema uko mbele wako. Hiyo peke yake is a deterrence. And that's what we want to do. We create our presence along this highway.
More speed gadgets and alcohol blows have been delivered to police manning the road.
Nikipeana tarakimu kwa mwaka wa 2018 katika hii sehemu, hiyo stretch, kumekuwa na ajali zaidi ya 70, more than 70 accidents. Wale walipoteza maisha yao ni karibu watu 27. Wale wameumia, ile serious injuries ni watu 41.
The county commissioner attributed the rising number of accidents on the road to the unmarked sections of the road, unroadworthy vehicles, tired drivers, as well as poor road surface, since the road has already gone beyond its 15 years lifespan.
Officers wetu wa Kenya Defence Forces kumekuwa pia wamehusika na ajali kwa sehemu za salama, na tumeweza kupoteza 4.
Last Sunday, 6 people perished in an accident near Mtitwandei. Daniel Mule, NTV.
Now, 16-year-old Zaitun Yusuf, who scored 387 marks in this year's KCPE, can now heave a sigh of relief regarding prospects of pursuing secondary education. Through his Twitter handle, Garissa Governor Ali Korane has indicated willingness to settle her school fees, build a house for her family, as well as settle the ailing father's medical bill. This follows NTV's story, which put the spotlight on the plight faced by Zaitun and her family. Zaitun's father suffered a stroke in 2014, rendering him unable to engage in gainful employment. Zaitun has been selected to join Buruburu Girls in Nairobi and is hoping to get a better shot at life through education. Female genital mutilation cases are on the rise among flood victims living in different internally displaced persons camps in Tana River County. According to a human rights activist, Saida Hussein, young girls of below 10 years old are being exposed to FGM practices in the community. These girls end up being married off at a tender age. There is growing fear among the local community leaders who are now calling on the county and national government to take action to stem the vice. While addressing locals during a campaign against FGM in the area, human rights activists maintain that the girls who have been exposed to FGM are silently suffering in the IDP camps, while others are being forced into early marriage. Community elders in the area have agreed to cooperate with human rights activists as well as non-governmental organizations to fight FGM.
Msichana amekeketwa, ako ndani ya hii hema, baba anakuja kulala hapo, mama ako hapo, watoto wengine wako hapo, anaumia hapa ndani. Hata hospitali haiko karibu hapa. Hakuna hospitali hapa, shule haiko karibu. By the time hii msichana apone shule ikifunguliwa, na hii joto ya hii hema yote atapona kweli? Alafu anakaa, anakosa shule.
As a community that have experienced, practicing type 3 FGM, we are telling our community members to stop circumcising FGM. It has no religious support and is affecting them, and it has more harm than good. And we youth, we are willing to marry those who are not circumcised.
Now, a fisherman died and a teacher who had joined a group of fishermen for a fishing expedition is still missing after their boat capsized in the Indian Ocean near Mtapwa Creek in Kilifi County. Rescue operations are still ongoing in search of the body of Mike Mwavita, who drowned. His family is now calling on the government to deploy machinery and personnel to retrieve his body. Kevin Mutai has that story and more from the coast.
3 fishermen who set out in search of their daily bread on Sunday, together with a teacher who was on a fishing expedition, ran into trouble after their boat capsized in the Indian Ocean. The 4 were unable to control the boat in the raging tides. 2 of the fishermen managed to stay afloat until another boat ran into their rescue and took them to shore, but the teacher and a fisherman died. Rescue operations are still going on in search for one missing body.
They are experienced fishermen. It's only that the water was too hard for them. That's why they did not manage. But we are seeing others who are still fishing on the ground to be more vigilant on what is happening with the waters. Because when the water changes, it's good for you to abandon your mission.
More than 200 artists from Kilifi County have come together to release a new first ever Mijikenda movie dubbed Ngana in their effort to promote and nurture their talents. The movie, which was filmed at a cost of over 1 million shillings, has seen different categories of artists from the region showcase their talents as part of preserving the history of the Mijikenda community.
Upande wa nyimbo tumejaribu kuimba tukitarajia kwamba tutapata nguvu kutoka kwa viongozi, lakini imekuwa ni haba sana, nguvu tujapata, hususan sisi watu wa Kilifi.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta have called on Kenyans from all walks of life to unite and show love to one another during the Christmas festivities. The president, who was speaking at Cathedral Church in Mombasa, where he attended a mass, said that Kenyans need to shun divisiveness and remember the less fortunate in society by sharing the festive season with them.
Na tujue kusameheana, kwa sababu hakuna mmoja wetu ambaye ni malaika, hakuna mmoja wetu ambaye hajakosea Mungu yake, lakini Mwenyezi Mungu na Yesu mwenyewe anatufundisha kusameheana.
Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
Our Defense Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Rachel Omamo, has honored the men and women in uniform who are away from their families this holiday season, thanking their families as well for the courage to let them go and serve the nation. The CS celebrated with the troops currently on a tour of duty inside Somalia, accompanied by the Chief of Defense Forces, Samson Mwadede.
As has become tradition, troops in various forward operating bases inside Sector 2 of Somalia prepare to receive special guests on the eve of Christmas. Defense Cabinet Secretary Rachel Omamo, CDF General Samson Mothethe spread the Christmas cheer deep inside the bush in various camps where the troops are located.
When I visit, I'm able to see the faces of the people who are fighting for Kenya. Fighting to keep Kenya safe, fighting to ensure that we have peace, ensuring that we have security, and ensuring that our defenses are strong.
Wale ambao mko mbele hapa hakuna nafasi ya kupumzika. Manake mkipumzika zaidi, then wale watu wabaya watapita na kuingia ndani ya nchi yetu na kufanya madhara.
The two visited with sick officers in hospital and also got a demonstration of how they fight the enemy. The CS and the CDF say that they noted the various challenges faced by the troops on duty and said they would be addressed in the coming year.
Vifaa vingi ambavyo mwaka huu jeshi la Kenya Army imepata, na si Kenya Army peke yake, ni majeshi yote matatu. Jeshi la Kenya Navy limepata vifaa vingi. Jeshi la Kenya Air Force, na tulikuwa huko juzi na waziri, limepata pia vifaa vingi sana. Na mwaka ujao vifaa vitazidi.
In 2018, KDF purchased aircraft and other weaponry to facilitate better handling of their duties in the theatre of war and also while on patrol, guarding Kenya's borders. The CDF joined the CS in paying glowing tribute to those who had paid the ultimate price in defense of the nation. He also prayed for those recuperating to get well soon. He wished the soldiers a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2019. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
All right, and just to remind you, we'd like to hear from you. How are you enjoying this holiday, and where are you watching us from? Well, you see, we are still in work, and of course, we have to know where you're watching us from. Our Twitter handle is at NTV Kenya. You'll be able to sample some of those. Maybe you want to say hello to your family members you've not met this Christmas holiday. Talk to us. But before that, Investments and Insurance Group UAP Old Mutual Holdings has issued a profit warning indicating that its earnings for the period ending December 2018 are bound to be lower by at least 25% than for the same period in 2017. This implies that the company's net profit for the period ending December 2018 is set to be less than 908 million shillings in what management has attributed to adverse performance at the Nairobi Securities Exchange and unfavorable valuation of properties in Kenya and South Sudan. This adds on to the list of companies that have issued similar warnings for the period ending December 2018, including Bamburi Cement and Samia Group, raising questions over the state of the business environment. Now, the delay by government to buy maize from farmers in the North Rift has affected the purchasing power of people from maize-growing region and subdued spending during Christmas. Businessmen who spoke to NTV said they had witnessed a drop in business courtesy of lack of money among maize farmers. David Gishoi and Maina Kamau, who sell clothes in Eldoret, have cited low turnout of customers to buy clothes compared to last year due to the delay by the government to buy maize from farmers. Large supermarkets in Eldoret had also witnessed a drop in their business due to low purchasing power. Ketia supermarket manager Maurice Wambua had this to say, attributed to the delay by NCPB to buy maize from farmers. And Deputy President William Ruto led a host of leaders across the country towards offering Christmas goodies to a number of constituents. Meanwhile, the county government of Murang'a is bailing out petty offenders who have been languishing in remands to celebrate Christmas with their loved ones. These highlights and more in our Christmas street wrap.
More than 5,000 women from Tadbo constituency and its neighborhood, as well as 2,000 children from 35 orphanages in Uasin Gishu County, received maize flour, cooking oil, wheat flour, rice and sugar from Deputy President William Ruto and his wife Rachel Ruto at their Sugoi home. The Deputy President urged Kenyans to extend a helping hand to the less fortunate members of the society and presented 400 goats and various food items in Eldoret town to 35 orphanages.
Continuously, we must eliminate the gap between those who have and those who don't have. We must.
But I want to encourage you, because the Bible says, I look up to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. I want to encourage you that even as we go into 2019, a word that I felt the Lord was putting in my heart this morning, let's continue in prayer.
In Murang'a, Governor Mwangi wa Iria announced his administration will pay cash bails for 100 offenders on Christmas Day for those who were granted minimal cash bails and are unable to raise it. Speaking when he distributed Christmas goodies to destitute families in the county at Ihura Stadium, Mwangi noted that some offenders are unable to raise amounts such as 1,000 shillings for cash bail.
We expect to touch close to 10,000 people within the county with various gifts, so that we can all celebrate together as we gear up for a new year 2019.
Still in Murang'a, Haditrust Kenya Executive Director Stanley Kamau challenged political leaders and charity organizations in Murang'a to sponsor income-generating projects for young men. Kamau, who donated Christmas goodies to young men from Athioya sub-county, said supporting the youth will help in reduction of drug abuse and domestic violence. In Kajiado County, more than 500 families in Kajiado North constituency were treated to early Christmas by receiving foodstuffs. The surprise packages targeted mainly elderly people and the physically challenged persons in the society from Area Member of Parliament Joseph Manje and Kajiado County Government, which was represented by County Sports CEC Alvin Kimani. The initiative, dubbed Chakula kwa Wazee, was launched 15 years ago by the late George Saitoti when he was the then area MP.
Huwa wakati kama huu huwa tunatembea vijijini kuhakikisha kwamba at least hawa kina shushu wanasherehekea sikukuu kama Wakenya wengine.
Limuru residents also had something to smile about after being treated to a luncheon and receiving gifts from the Limuru Sisters and Brothers artists. In Embu, Dennis Mugambi, a street boy in Embu town, was born on Christmas Day, celebrated early Christmas with fellow street children at Shauriyako slums in Embu town. The luncheon was organized by businessman John Mate, who challenged the street children to pursue education and avoid engaging in criminal activities. Seth Olale, NTV.
Niaje, want to invest in a biashara that will take your hustle to the next level?
All right, and on to some sporting action. Unpleasantly cold or wet weather and lack of corporate sponsorship wreaked havoc in the ranks of organizers of the 2018 Kenya National Rally Championship. Several KNRC events had to be rescheduled because of heavy rains that swept across the nation, although organizing clubs made efforts to ensure all 8 rounds of the series were finally run. Lack of solid sponsorship for the KNRC also saw the decline in the entries for most of the calendar competitions. Kenya Motorsports Federation is yet to seek a replacement since KCB stepped down last year as title sponsors after an association that lasted for nearly 15 years. However, despite the difficulties, drivers kept the momentum going and funds came in large numbers as rallying spread across the nation from as far as Kisumu to Mombasa, providing good entertainment.
I just updated like two apps.
Now, former Tottenham striker Jermaine Defoe was presented with a 2008 English League Cup winners' medal more than 10 years after Spurs beat Chelsea in the final. The 36-year-old left White Hart Lane for Portsmouth less than a month before the game at Wembley and had scored in the 5th round victory over Manchester City. Defoe, who now plays for Bournemouth, was given his medal at the Vitality Stadium and said that he was cheering on his former teammate as Spurs edged Chelsea 2-1 in extra time a decade ago. Defoe returned for a second spell at Tottenham later in 2008 and made 363 appearances for the club in total, scoring 143 goals. Now, Arsenal midfielder Henrik Mkhitaryan has been ruled out for up to 6 weeks with a broken foot. 29-year-old Mkhitaryan was replaced at halftime during the Carabao Cup quarter-final loss to Tottenham and missed the Premier League win over Burnley. The Gunners say the Armenian international has a fractured metatarsal in his right foot. Mkhitaryan has scored 4 goals and provided 3 assists for the Emirates Stadium side this season. He joins an Arsenal injury list which also includes striker Danny Welbeck and defender Rob Holding, neither of whom are expected to return until 2019-2020 campaign. All right, and this is where we wrap up our 1 p.m. bulletin, where because of time, we'll be able to sample some of the views from people who are celebrating this Christmas celebrations across the country. We have here Lydia Minayo saying, "Hi NTV, Merry Christmas. I would like to wish my family a happy Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year 2019, especially my son Arnold Jr. and my beautiful daughter Aliyah, watching from Qatar, missing home so bad." Well, we'll come back, Lydia. And of course, we also have here at, let me get that tweet, at Gitau Njao saying, "I'm indoors, wanted to spend it at Miami Beach. Finances could not allow." Well, I'm sorry, Gita. I hope you prepare yourself financially for next year for the Christmas season. And of course, we also have Ruben saying, well, he is in the gallery. He's saying, well, he has a full shift today, so he's not enjoying Christmas so well. I'm sorry, Ruben. Next time. Well, this is where we wrap up our bulletin. Thank you so much for making the time for us. We have a lot preparing for you in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Zainab Ismail. Good afternoon and enjoy your day.